Welcome back to my views and news. Another news story for you. Contest between Ethio 360 journalists and Ethiopian government is ongoing, one after the other. All Ethio 360 YouTube channels have been blocked today. The Ethio 360 journalists created a new YouTube channel. They are on Rumble too, but on YouTube, their channels are being blocked. What is the name of the new channel which they launched just today, because their last channel was closed, I think yesterday. Secondly, a video for you. Dozens of Ethiopian army soldiers were taken prisoner in Oromia a few days ago. I could not share that video with you. Somehow I missed that development. The video shows that dozens of Ethiopian army soldiers taken prisoner. This is perhaps the largest number of Ethiopian army soldiers taken prisoner recently. After Tigray war, I have not seen such a large number of Ethiopian army soldiers taken prisoner. Third, viewers, in Kombolcha today, where shots were fired during Muslims' Eid prayer gathering, people protested, chanted slogans against Sheikh Ibrahim Tofa. A video for you. Fourthly, Eritrea today issued a statement. Eritrean Information Ministry issued a statement about the countries, the allies which supported Eritrean position at a recent meeting of UN Human Rights Council. UN Human Rights Council held a meeting a few days ago where UN Special Rapporteur on Eritrea, Abdislam Babikar, submitted a report on human rights situation in Eritrea. Which countries supported Eritrean position? Eritrea today shared some details. Lastly, Sudan, viewers, a very important, significant article published by Reuters today. The writer claims that Islamists are supporting in thousands they are supporting Sudanese army, that Islamists are fighting alongside Sudanese army against RSF. This is what RSF has been claiming, by the way. And secondly, a video for you showing some Sudanese army soldiers released by RSF today. On Eid day, RSF announced a ceasefire. Sudanese army announced its commitment to. Then RSF released around 100 Sudanese army soldiers. Firstly, viewers, Ethio 360 journalists are facing problems on YouTube. Their main channel was blocked weeks ago, though the reason behind the closure of the channel is still unknown. Was it closed because of hate speech? Was it closed because of mass reporting? Was it closed because of complaint to YouTube from Ethiopian government? Whatever the reason was, but that main channel, Ethio 360, was closed. Ethio 360 media was closed too. And then these journalists started creating YouTube channels, new YouTube channels. They created Ethio 360 Studio 1, closed. Studio 2 closed. Studio 3 closed. Studio 4 closed. Studio 5 blocked. And today they created a new YouTube channel, Ethio 360 Studio C. They were using numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Studio. Now they are using alphabets, Studio C. Let's see how long this Studio C, Ethio 360 Studio C, can survive. Ethiopian government has decided that it will not let Ethio journalists to be on YouTube. And somehow the government has found a way of blocking Ethio 360 YouTube channels. Though they are on Twitter, they are on Rumble, they are on Facebook, they are on satellite too, on Maraja satellite. But their main following was on YouTube. Ethiopians, Ethiopian diaspora watches them on YouTube mainly. People watch them on YouTube mainly. But the YouTube channels are being blocked one after the other. Let's see. And if Ethio 360 people are losing these YouTube channels, you can imagine the financial loss they're suffering. Because their main channel was earning more than 40,000 US dollars per month. It means there are people behind these journalists, diaspora behind them, supporting them, funding them. There are several journalists, a team of technicians, a team of technical staff too. So how are all of them being paid? New YouTube channels are not monetized overnight. It means someone is funding them. And those who are funding them are ethnic Amharas, Amhara diaspora, it seems. So they are available on Ethio 360 Studio C now. People say, Sajid, you promote them. Why do you share the new stories about the new YouTube channels? Just 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I told you about Ethio Forum. Ethio Forum has relaunched its YouTube channel. There is no problem with telling the people that these media outlets are available. Let the people listen. Let the people watch and then decide. People are mature enough. They should be mature enough, responsible enough to make decisions. Blocking information is not a solution. People should be educated. They can only be educated if they have access to multiple sources, multiple viewpoints. Yes, they should watch all YouTube channels, Ethio Forum, Ethio 360, Oromia Media Network, foreigners too. Then they should make up their mind. If they don't like those channels, they can block them, they can stop watching them. But blocking these channels altogether on government level is not a solution, I think. Secondly, viewers, dozens of Ethiopian army soldiers have been taken prisoner in the Oromia region of Ethiopia. The video which we saw yesterday surfaced a few weeks ago. I think it was the first week of June when this video was released by some pro-Ola news sources. Somehow I missed the video, and today a friend shared it with me. This video shows not one or two Ethiopian army soldiers. It shows dozens of Ethiopian army soldiers who were taken prisoner by Ola. Where is the video from? Reportedly, the video is from North Shore zone of the Oromia region, where Ola fighters carried out an attack on an Ethiopian army camp, reportedly. This video shows the largest number of Ethiopian army POWs. I have not seen such a large number of Ethiopian army POWs after Tigray war. Yes, during Tigray war, we know that thousands of Ethiopian army soldiers were taken prisoner by Tigray fighters. They were released. But outside Tigray, we have not seen such a large number of Ethiopian army soldiers taken prisoner. So all the fighters took them prisoner. Where are they? I don't know. They have not been released so far, reportedly. They're still in the custody of Oromo Liberation Army, and Ethiopian government-backed activists claim that a new major operation has been launched against Ola fighters. Pictures and videos are being shared showing some Ola POWs. A viewer commented after my last video that, Sajid, you say more than 200 Fano fighters were killed in Debre Elias. But in Oromia, you say only a few Ola fighters were killed. And government-backed activists say 300 killed. So why are you rejecting the deaths of Ola fighters in Oromia? Well, what is happening in Oromia, I am able to confirm. I was able to confirm. I got in touch with a man who is one of my close friends. He's from the area, and he told me the whole story. I can depend on the reporting. Hundreds have not been killed in Oromia, Ola members, just a few. I could not confirm how many were killed in Debre Elias. And no one was there because the area was under siege. Ethiopian army launched operation. No independent source was there. Someone that I can trust. Amhara hardliners say that only bishops, their families, monks, priests were killed. No Fano fighters were there. Government says more than 200 Fano fighters were killed. I just share what government said, and I quote the government. Clip for you showing dozens of Ethiopian army soldiers taken prisoner by Ola fighters in Oromia around 2 weeks ago, it seems. Another news story is from Kombolcha, Amhara region, where today we saw that there was unrest when shots were fired during a Muslim Eid religious gathering in Kombolcha city. Then people protested, chanted slogans against Ibrahim Tofa. Ibrahim Tofa is Ethiopian Islamic Affairs Supreme Council chairman, appointed a few months ago. Mufti Haji Umar Idris from the Amhara region was the president, but he was removed. He refused to accept Ibrahim Tofa, but Ibrahim Tofa was elected. He is based in Oromia. Ibrahim Tofa is based in Oromia. Mufti Umar Idris is from the Amhara region. And today, when there was when shots were fired during a Muslim religious gathering in Kombolcha, people then started a protest. They chanted slogans against Ibrahim Tofa, that Ibrahim Tofa was supporting Ethiopian government. He was supporting Ethiopian security forces. That is why Muslims are now the victims of the excess is being committed by security forces, allegedly. Watch a clip from today's protest in Kombolcha. People can be heard chanting slogans against Sheikh Ibrahim Tofa, head of Ethiopian Islamic Affairs Council.
Down Ibrahim Tofa! No more! No more! No more!
Thirdly, was Eritrean Information Ministry released a statement today condemning alleged political objectives of some world powers which are trying to pressurize Eritrean government by sharing false reports on human rights record situation in Eritrea. Abdul Salam Babikar, UN Special Rapporteur on Eritrea, on the 21st of June, submitted a report to the UN about human rights situation in Eritrea. Read a video on that. He said human rights situation was not improving, Afars being discriminated, national service is forced labor, conscription ongoing, no freedom of speech, no freedom of religion, And Eritrean government was involved in Tigray, its forces in Tigray, forces committed atrocities, human rights abuses in Tigray. Today, Indian Information Ministry said that when that report was submitted, which government says is false, Eritrean international allies rejected the report. 6 countries were mentioned today by Eritrea, that those countries' representatives criticized UN Special Rapporteur. Iran, first country. Iranian representative said that why didn't the US Special Rapporteur mention the impact of US sanctions on Eritrea? Why did the report contain material about Tigray? The report was about Eritrean internal human rights situation. Why was there mention of Tigray? Burundi also opposed the report that Eritrea was being kept under pressure. Cuba spoke to Cuban representative, Russia, China, Syria. All said that sanctions were being used to put pressure upon Eritrea, that some global powers wanted to achieve their political objectives through these reports. So Eritrea today shared names of those representatives, countries' representatives who spoke in favor of Eritrea. All these countries, Iran, especially Cuba, Russia, China, Syria, they are opposed to Western countries. And all these countries are accused of human rights abuses in their countries. China accused of human rights abuses against Uyghurs, Uyghur Muslims, Russians too, Iran under sanctions from US, Syria as well. So all these countries are part of one bloc, that is Russia, China bloc. Eritrea is not alone in the sense that it is part of this bloc. But this bloc does not have majority of the countries of the world. The other bloc has more countries as their members. Why? Because obviously the other bloc is in control of world's economy, big financial institutions, international media, and other key institutions are under the control of the other camp. This camp is trying to establish itself, but so far efforts are underway. Eritrea wants this camp to be established with resources, with discussions, with comprehensive dialogue on understanding. So far, it's not happening. Lastly, we have Sudan, where Reuters today published a new story accusing Sudanese military that it is being supported by Islamists. Rapid support forces have been issuing statements in the start of this war that Islamists are supporting Sudanese military and that Islamists could try to recapture Sudan, that like Al-Qaeda, ISIS, the Islamists could try to encourage infiltration of extremist elements in Sudan. So the military has been denying links with Islamists. al-Bashir, who was removed from power more than 4 years ago, backed Islamists, and his government was overthrown after public protests. Then military seized power, military-civilian coalition was put in place, though military remained a key player. Sudan's military denies any links with Islamists. Military says that al-Bashir's party was banned, NIS was disbanded, National Intelligence Security Service, which had intelligence operatives who were supportive of Islamist movement reportedly. But from day one, RSF's narrative is that Sudanese military is supported by extremist Islamists. And if RSF loses the war, Islamists would take over. This is the narrative built by RSF to get support from Middle East and Western countries, US. And Reuters today supported this RSF narrative. And Reuters claims that there are thousands of Islamists who are supporting Sudanese military in the fight against RSF. And Reuters claim that it contacted some military sources, some intelligence officials who, on condition of anonymity, confirmed that military is supported by Islamist elements. Obviously, the Sudan military will reject the report, but it's a very important development that Houmathi's narrative is selling in the West, it seems. Secondly, a video for you showing dozens of Sudanese army soldiers who were released today. Today was Eidul Adha was celebrated in Sudan, in neighboring countries too. So, in respect of this Muslim religious festival, Sudanese RSF, Sudanese soldiers were released by a rapid support of force members. Watch the clip.